It's the Friggin Soccer Show, bub.
Hey, Hearts fans, welcome to the Friggin Soccer Show, the very first one. I've got Sean, I've got Rob, I've got Chaz joining me here at the Bell Street Studios by the Knack Factory. We want to welcome them as the official partner studio of the Friggin Soccer Show. How exciting is that? So let's talk a little bit about why the new name. It rolls off the tongue a little bit more nicely than From the Forest to the Tide. But we needed something that was immediately identifiable as New England, something that was immediately identifiable as a soccer show. So it's the Friggin' Soccer Show.
It's a strong name. It's a very strong name. But yeah, I mean, it's a new project for us. Obviously, previously with the old podcast, we're very closely associated with the Dirigo Union. We still are all members of the Dirigo Union, like still members there. But because of the rules around, nonprofits and that sort of stuff, we weren't really able to grow the show in the way we wanted to necessarily by being part of the DU. So with this new show, we're going to be able to go out. We're going to be able to get sponsors. We're going to be able to have more partners like the Knack Factory here, Bell Street Studios. Go out there, talk to those people, and really start to build this show into a little bit more of a professional sort of thing. We really want to get out there and have this be something you can turn to for your match day coverage, for talking about players coming in, like even more so than the old show. We really want this to feel professional, feel like a new experience, feel like the stuff you see coming out of Europe, coming out of South America, coming out of the big leagues in the world.
You're Mr. Professional, Chaz.
I'm just happy to be here. It's great to see that. I feel like this is the natural progression. Think about the very first episode compared to what I'm literally staring at now. It makes sense. It's just the next step. So
We've been thinking about it for a while, and especially at the end of the year. But it's taken us a while to get all of our ducks in a row, which they're not all necessarily in a row either. But the website's up, so frigginsoccer.com. And if anybody's listening is interested in partnering up with us for this season, you can email info@frigginsoccer.com. So I'm excited to see also who reaches out. I think we're going to have a Patreon probably by the next studio episode, which means next time we're back here at Bell Street Studio, because we've got the 2 traveling games coming up the next 2 weeks. So there'll be content around those. But by the next time we're back here, we'll have some information on a Patreon as well. We're figuring that out. And if anybody is really familiar with that and wants to throw us any advice, we'd be open to that.
Yeah, definitely there'll be some cool benefits associated with that. So, more to come.
Sky's the limit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sean, gotta say something.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited about this new adventure that we're all getting into here with the Friggin Soccer Show, and it's gonna be interesting with the sponsorship piece coming in, and that is going to allow us to do more things that we've talked about before in the past that we just can't quite bridge that gap. And with the sponsorships coming in, that will allow us to do a lot of that stuff. And the show will be certainly a lot different going forward than what it was in our first year. Just kind of doing it out of our own pocket, doing our own thing. So I'm excited to what this is going to grow into going forward, and the product that we can put out there for everyone to enjoy.
I, for one, am excited that I don't need to worry anymore about the dog being in the background of any of our at-home recording.
Yeah, we haven't figured out how we'll do. I'm sure there will be some episodes that will be online, just because for the sake of getting content out there when we can't get together.
Yeah.
I mean, for folks who don't know, like this group right now is from all over the state, so not all of us live in Portland. So we do what we can, but we love being here and love the studio space. It's really, really, really nice. So let's see. The first piece of content on the Friggin Soccer Show should probably be about all the roster announcements that have been made. And I was actually really happy that the club, because today is Sunday, we usually record on a Sunday. It seems like the Hearts always are announcing players on like Sunday and Monday, and then we're immediately behind it. So I think the first, Adam Armour, he wasn't officially announced last time we recorded, but we did bring him up because we had a we knew that was coming. So,
Yeah.
any words about Adam, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really big signing for us. We've talked about on the show having some spots in the roster that needed to get filled, and we needed bigger names to kind of fill them, and Adam Armour is certainly one. I'm excited to see him play. Sean, I don't know, do you have any statistics to provide us about Mr. Adam?
He's coming from Germany.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I don't.
yeah.
I really don't have a lot of statistics for Adam. I know he's been fighting injuries through most of his career, and when he's right, he's a pretty good left back from what I understand, and I think he's had some dabblings in there with the MLS side of things there for just a brief moment in his career, and through the championship, and now over in Germany, and now he finds himself back over in League One, and I think he's just trying to stabilize and ultimately really try to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably a good spot for him to do both those things.
Hearts of Pine Rehab Clinic, another admission.
You mentioned left. So he's going to be our left back.
He's not going to be our left back, not our starting left back. At least not in my opinion.
But he's going to be slotted in the left.
Yes.
Back. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was going to
when
be
he's on the field, I would expect to see him as a left back.
Okay. Another big guy. He's a big boy too.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the amount of big boys we've really brought in.
Yeah.
All right, easy there, gentlemen.
Interpret that as
Easy.
you will.
We'll get to the next one.
It does feel like a shift from last season, though, doesn't it? I mean, we were one of the smaller teams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
physically.
I mean, it's impressive. I mean, as we get further through, we've gotten bigger physically, and the level of what we had a couple D3 guys come in last year, and
Yeah.
now we have potentially one, but multiple D1 guys.
Yeah. No, I think if you
impressive.
we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show, but if you look across our back line, all but one will be over 6 feet tall. Actually, all but one over 6'2". Actually, so we're gonna have a tall back line,
which I think we'll need when we get into the teams later. I think we'll see that. That's going to be very important.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I like him. I like Adam Armour. We'll see what good names we can come up with.
Yep.
I think, Chance names would be good.
We got a lot of good names. We got a lot of strong, fun names this season. So I'm really excited to hear what the chant people work up. I might throw one or two in the ring this year. They've been known to do. They usually get downvoted pretty quickly. Ernest Mensah. Am I saying that? Pronouncing that correctly?
I believe so.
So he signed also a defender on a performance contract, I believe. So
yeah, so he's a college player coming out of Xavier University in Syracuse. Last in Syracuse.
Right.
So that's where he's coming from directly, and another good-looking prospect coming out of college. We don't have a ton of college players on the roster so far this year, which I think that's a good thing. It's all good to speckle a few, 2 or 3 in there, but you don't want to get up around 6 to 8 college players. Sometimes even some teams have even north of that, and it's this is a professional league. You need to have professionals in your team. And we talked about that wall that college players tend to hit. If you've got 8 college players, 10 college players on your team, they're all going to hit the wall at the same time. It's going to be tough to navigate.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I agree with you, though. I think it's nice to have more NCAA guys, especially because he's on a performance contract.
Yep.
So, I think that's the right way to bring some of these guys in, because obviously I think this season, from last season to this season, we have gotten bigger, gotten bolder, gotten more experienced. So still providing those opportunities, though, to go out there and find those gems in the rough, like Bobby Murphy seems to be very good at doing.
Yep.
I think that's nice. And, it's on him to see how well he plays. If he's good, he'll probably end up getting a contract extension and getting a full contract. But, if he doesn't, then it's no real risk for the club.
Who were our performance contracts last year?
Jake Keegan.
Was
Jake Keegan.
Was Mo on a performance contract last year? I can't remember.
He was. I'm going to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one we got a contract and one did not.
Yeah.
I was just curious, off the top of my head, but yeah, no, that's true. What about Diogo Barbosa? And is it just me, or does the Pirates of the Caribbean theme come into your head as soon as you say Barbosa? Because that's me.
That's one of those strong names that
we're
going to have a lot of fun with that one, I think, with the chance. But yeah, he's another one interesting player. Just pulling up his profile.
He
right
looks
now.
like Drogba to me.
Yeah, I didn't. I think Drogba. I thought Traore. I didn't even see his name at first. I
You
was
were
just like,
Traore.
wow, that's. I would not want to get in front of that.
Well,
Yep.
in the position that he plays, you know, to match up with the Barbosa and the Pirates of the Caribbean and whatever. I guess you would say that position usually does wear a black hat, right? He's usually the enforcer, the bad guy type of deal, right? So I guess it all jives, it all goes together. But if you look at some of the clips there from Barbosa, one of the first clips that you'll see is tracking back and making some saving tackles and recovering the ball and getting it back forward again. And that's exactly what we would need him to do here in the Hearts. And 30 years old, he's certainly got some experience under his belt, a little bit of been there, done that type of thing, which is also another positive thing for that position, very senior position in any formation, right? So him coming in and kind of seeing the lay of the land and knowing when to push everyone forward and when to pull everyone back and being able to make those big tackles. Bobby mentioned he can cover a little bit more ground. So I think we'll see him work in whenever maybe Mikey needs a little bit of a rest. Maybe some of these midweek games or whatever, where all right, Mikey, why don't you go ahead and sit on the bench, and we're going to put Barbosa in there, like Vermont. We might see him in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah, him MPA and MPA would be an insane combo.
Right.
You have to have like the vision hawk that MPA is behind or next to such a physical specimen. Barbosa, that's like that could really unlock. I mean, I wouldn't even call them like CD games at that point. They're going to be pushing that ball up forward.
Do you guys notice his distribution
Yeah.
in the highlights that got put out there? Like, dude likes a long ball. It's
Yeah.
driven long ball, like
Yeah.
not just a spray and pray type thing, but actual, driving the ball out wide. Look good.
And pushing that out to Ollie Wright and pushing that out to
We need
JT
that.
Kamara, we can
need
see
that.
that working.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I was saying for the last couple episodes, I've been saying we need a midfielder, and I think this is the guy. This is the person we needed to bring in. So I'm happy we have him. He's got an exceptional pedigree in terms of being brought up. He played in Porto's academy, Benfica's academy, Sporting Lisbon's academy. He's played in Cyprus, Australia, Bulgaria, Malta. I mean, he's played all over the place.
He's been around.
I'm excited to see him get out on the pitch this summer.
Yeah, me too. I second that. Even if he, for no other reason than being an impressive specimen, but I think he's got even more going for him.
Charles is ready to pull out the microscope.
He's not wearing any black hats out there on the field, though. No pirate hats.
No. Very exciting, I think, this roster, the way it's come together. So
Yeah,
next,
for sure.
Mateo Kidd, also midfielder, MLS Next Pro.
St. Louis
And
City.
with Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Bobby. So I think those are both really good things.
Yeah. It's interesting to see Bobby. I think it's the first player we've seen Bobby bring in from St. Louis City, too. So it's kind of cool to see someone come from his old system
I believe that's
coming
correct.
here. I have not seen any highlight film of him yet because he was just announced yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday's.
Yeah.
with the
But we
last-
know he's been playing with the club for a little bit because there have been some photos.
Right. Yeah.
I mean that might be one name I have to get on the back of the jersey. Someone's gonna be like, "You have a Jason Kidd jersey for Maine?" Nope, Mateo Kidd, buddy, back off, hands off.
No, I think Mateo, in my opinion, he's labeled as a midfielder, but we know how the Hearts run,
I was
right?
gonna say, you never know if he's a midfielder, a defender, or a friggin' striker without his club and
So
else's players.
if you look up the roster for the Hearts, you're going to see midfielder Ollie Wright, midfielder JT Kamara,
Yeah.
right, forward Varela.
Yeah.
So
Right, and based on where he plays,
I think you'll see Mateo as kind of being kind of like backing up Ollie Wright over there on the left wing. I managed to pick up a few heat maps here and there to kind of see where he likes to run.
Yeah.
And it's been that left-hand side forward end of the field, right? So I think this is probably the backup for Ollie Wright. I think is what we're looking at here.
I'll go with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And then we kind of had a indirect verification of a signing. Tyler Huck, I believe he's out and out forward, and he's playing ball, or he's at school right now in Brunswick.
Yeah, Bowden.
He's at Bowdoin, okay, and hinted that he'll be signed. And
Yeah.
apparently Bobby spoke to some people and was just talking about how the kid's full of goals. All he does is score goals.
Good.
I think he scored that header, right?
Well,
That
he
we
scored a
saw-
header.
Yeah, he scored a
I mean, he scored. I think at the 3 games I watched up there in the D3 NCAA tournament up there last fall, I believe. No, yeah, last fall. He easily got like 8 or 9 goals. I mean, and again, that's against D3 competition.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, even at his size, he looks bigger too.
Is he big? Do we know how big?
I think he's
Huck
about
is?
6 foot.
Oh,
like
okay.
one.
I thought he was smaller. So
He's a little. He carries the weight rather well. I think he's
Okay.
like 155, 160.
Yeah.
So he's a little stringy, but I mean he's only 22.
right. I'm all for it. If you got a kid, D3, D2, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
of course, I'd rather him be like an all-star Division I player just because that's easy. But if he can smell goals, and that's his thing, like I'm willing to bet on him, right, and try to have Bobby bring that out of somebody like that. And he's young.
Well, you got to think too. He's been right there for a year now. You know, I mean, usually when it comes to scouting players from across the country, you know, you get like analytical data. Maybe you get some highlight tape. Maybe you get some of those scouts that kind of work freelance sort of stuff, sending you reports. But like he's been right there in Brunswick for the last year. I mean, probably a good chance there have been some people from the organization that have gone up and actually seen him play.
He didn't train with us. He didn't train with us last year.
I don't think he did. No, I
I
think
mean,
it's
that
been
very
this,
easily could have
it's
happened
been
if he
this
was around.
preseason.
It's been
He's
this
been
preseason.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he my favorite part is he'll jump. He likes to go up for balls.
Mhm.
So
What's that like? So that's interesting.
Yeah.
We're asking Chaz. Chaz, what's that like?
I've only done it a few times in my year, but it like I said,
What's your
that's what I'm saying.
vertical, Chaz?
We need
You're a tall dude.
only the taller guys.
You played
up here.
basketball.
No, I
Really?
wish. No,
Oh.
no, I was the one that didn't get gifted with that skill set. But that's besides the point. He looks good.
I,
He
was
look-
like,
he
I
looks
think I've
good.
mentioned putting you on the field for Hearts before. I was just
I
throwing you
I
up
would
top.
I would
Like,
do it.
You look like super sub. An air of that quality about
Yeah.
you.
I have a recurring nightmare where like
About Chaz
something
on the pitch?
something bad happens and all of a sudden Bobby Murphy comes over to the section and is like, I need someone to play X position,
Right.
and everyone backs away from
Except
me, and,
Chaz.
and I'm the only one available.
Right.
Oh yeah, and then I go out and I fuck it up so bad.
I was like, when does this become a nightmare? It sounds like a wet dream.
No.
so far.
It's like I end up like always as like a defender or something, and then all the goals get scored by the other team. Like I absolutely totally screwed
you
it up.
naked?
Wow. Yeah, you know, I might be.
You
I
might be.
by the end of
That's
it,
what
that
it
might
is.
happen. Yeah, you know, that might happen by the end. I
I was
don't.
wearing clothes when I got subbed on. I swear, this dream is just.
I know.
going
I
in
wake
one
up. I
direction.
wake up screaming. My wife says, "You know, if you having that heart stream again?" Like, I mean, you know,
All right.
Yeah.
Is that everybody? We got like a full roster now, huh?
we have a crazy full roster. I think we have the
It's
most
25?
depth, honestly, on almost any USL team.
I'm feeling really confident. I don't know if it's just because these games, the opening weekend games, this little segue into those that we got to watch yesterday. There's no games today on Sunday, right? There's a championship game, but there's no USL
There
One
was
if,
a game.
If Tormenta was still a thing,
Yeah.
there
right.
would
So
have been a
that game is
today.
not happening. But can we talk a little bit about the weekend games? And it's
Yeah.
probably unfair. I will say when I submitted my standing predictions, I did it before. Even though I was the last to submit, I did it before the games took place.
Well, some
And
of
I
us
have not altered.
some of us might have made some corrections after
So-
yesterday's game.
Actually, I would change a couple things after yesterday. Let me preface it like this. I'm reminded of how much of these early games in USL One are throwaway games.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like I'd forgotten,
Especially
that.
with expansion teams coming into the
especially
league.
four expansion teams. But like, wow, was everybody open and all over the place yesterday in those games? Wow.
I thought there would be at least one shootout, because I remember last year it was Richmond versus Tormenta, and it was like a 9-goal
5-4.
Yeah, and so I was kind of hoping for like one of those to save the weekend, and it just never showed up.
No,
Mm.
not
And,
yesterday.
yeah, it was kind of just a little disappointing, but we move
Well,
on.
The first game was Naples Fort Wayne. So it was the first chance to see Fort Wayne and good chance to see Naples. Obviously, there's been a lot of change at Naples. To me, it was fun to see that stadium again. Just like because
Yeah.
that was actually the first Hearts game I saw.
Yeah.
Was traveling down to Naples and see their little welcome mat carpet again. I mean, it does look pretty from far away, but when you get up close, I remember talking to all our players last year. That was their most disliked surface they played on all year.
Yeah.
And it does look. I remember looking at it. It's like a welcome mat.
Looks like
Those
AstroTurf, like,
terrible,
when you look at it.
really worn down, awful. And the grass that is there that's vertical is like super stiff,
Mm.
that type of thing. But it looks pretty on the broadcast. I mean, I'm not gonna. I hate football lines so much that I'll gladly watch Naples Stadium. But
Mhm.
anyway, they've had a lot of change. What do you guys think about that game? So Naples wins 2-0. I was struck by how many young players Fort Wayne had.
So yeah, I mean it's interesting. Fort Wayne's system was obviously a USL 2 system last year. Like
they're coming up.
they
from
came up-
USL 2.
But when they came up, they kept the same coach. They kept a couple of their players, and then they brought in some NCAA prospects and they brought in some veterans. but I was surprised with how little turnover there was. Because usually when you see a team go from USL to pre-professional to the professional ranks, usually you bring in a new coach that's had some professional experience. You bring in usually a full new slate of players, and that didn't seem to be Fort Wayne's plan. So
What is their plan?
I kind of what I picked up out of the game is they're going to try to be a very defensive team, hard to break down. They're going to look to try to maybe turn over the ball in their own end and try to get on the counter. They also look to be like very much they want to try to score goals on set pieces. That's kind of what I see out of Fort Wayne. Very early in the match, like in 5 or 6 minutes or something like that, they had a corner and they had a dangerous corner on the front post. And guy put a head on it and flicked it back, and it actually bounced off the back post.
Hit the post.
So a real dangerous goal-scoring opportunity
Easily
there
could have
for
been
Fort
1-0
Wayne.
up.
Yep. But as the game wore on, their formation seemed to kind of get pulled apart a little bit, and I think maybe some of that lack of professional experience and stuff like that at this level in Naples FC was kind of having their way with them a little bit in the second half, and ended up going ahead and taking the win there 2-0.
Good finishes from Naples. Both goals were good finishes.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because we'll get into our predictions a little bit later, but Naples had a lot of turnover between last season and this season.
No more Henderlong. Everybody was singing his praises last season. Was he all-timer or whatever
He was a candidate. He was a candidate for Player of the Year.
Like no more him, no more Dengler, no more
Evans.
Breck Evans.
Yeah, I really do think that that's the team that if you want to see year over year drastic change in not a good way, I think FC Naples might be the team to keep an eye on this season because they've gone from having a very stacked roster to a much more uneven system, especially their back line.
Do you I know it's first opening weekend. We just said how these games have an air of being throwaway games. They really feel that way because everybody was just kind of, hate to use the term, but it was abysmal soccer. Like it was kickball. Some of these games really, it was hard to watch sometimes. But I don't know. I think maybe there might be an air of for Naples where they hold on to games. It might be tough to beat.
Yeah,
more than we're giving them credit for.
They still have Delgado.
Yeah, they do.
Still have who's going to easily still be a top 3 goalie.
He just gets in your head, that guy.
Yeah.
Delgado.
Oh yeah.
He is a big shit talker.
Oh yeah.
I came away with that impression.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So I think they've definitely got worse. I don't really see them. It was a tough. It was kind of sad to see them fall from grace because then it's like you're gonna. It's weird. They also have 4 goalies on their roster.
Do they really?
Yeah. I was like, you guys spent all
they
that
had
money
3. I didn't realize they had 4.
Yeah, they have 4. I was like,
remember there was that one game.
That's because Delgado's such a dick. They know he's going to get a certain amount of red cards.
Oh yeah.
Remember there was the one game they came up and played us last season. Delgado was on a red. Then their second goalie got a red, and then they had to put in the goalkeeping coach.
Maybe that's why that's never happening again.
I know. So they lost all these guys and replaced them with goalies.
That's funny.
The goalkeeping coach played at Fitzy. That's right.
Yep.
So, all right. So, anything else from Naples Fort Wayne? We're going to talk about predictions, but that game's kind of is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Fort Wayne was pushing really hard. They hit the post. They were a bit unlucky. 2-0 probably flatters Naples a little bit, but they were good finishes. So Westchester and Knoxville. I didn't think Westchester had a chance coming into the game, and but opening games, like we said, but they did end up losing 3-2. I think I turned it off, so I only saw 3-1. But they got a penalty, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their first goal was a penalty.
The first goal was a questionable penalty. Welcome back to USL One, where the referees are on top of their game.
Yeah, so Westchester, most goals allowed last year, and this will kind of go into where I think most of us put Westchester in our predictions here in the next couple of segments here. But they put, I think it was like some 59 goals or something like that they allowed last year, and they brought in 3 college kids to shore up that back line. Not sure if that might be the best plan. And of course, then we lost. He lost Obregon Jr., their Golden Boot from last year, right?
Right.
I don't really know who they put in there to replace him. I think they're kind of pulling at straws. So, kids in the back to shore up the most goals put in last year, and question mark up forward to replace your Golden Boot goal scorer from last year. I think it's going to be another sad season for Westchester.
And it was kind of a repeat because they did go ahead, and then they lost from a winning position,
Yep.
which I believe they did quite a few times.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd love to know what their salary budget is, compared to some other teams in this league.
We'd love to know anybody's budget.
I would love to know. I'd love to know
financial information.
I would love to know any of that. But based on who they brought in, you got to wonder. There are a couple teams in this league you think might be running on shoestring budgets for the actual soccer operations side, and they didn't really bring in that many names in the offseason. So
Well, the rumor was last year they had, they were spending quite a bit of money. And
right, well but they
so
got no results out of it.
if that was the case and
Yeah.
they got no results, maybe this is like the rebound year where they're like, all right, we got to suck it up, guys, this
We
year.
have to build differently.
This is probably going to be ugly, but
Yeah.
we need to kind of right size the bank account, if you will. And we're going to try to get the best we can out of these guys, and we'll see what happens.
That's a good reminder that preseason last year, everybody was saying Westchester's put together quite a squad and that they were picking them for, top 4 finish, I think, in a lot of the league predictions.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out that way.
I
Did
mean,
not.
I think there was the one highlight of that game was Knoxville. I think they looked not bad, and that Tarachenko, their forward.
Yeah,
they had
he looks
Tempest
good.
Tequila. They lost him to Omaha. I mean, he looks dangerous. He got a brace and I think an assist.
Yeah.
That game. So
Listen, they did
Who
the
knows?
double last season, and there's something about a stubbornness of the way they play, right?
Yeah.
So I am not writing them off. I think I have them higher than anybody, any of you guys in the standings, but I am not writing them off this year.
I wouldn't write them off. I mean, I think Ian Fuller is a really good coach.
He's a good coach.
I really do think that. I think losing Tequila was not great, but I don't know that's unrecoverable.
Yeah, just like what's his name?
I might pronounce it
No,
like
it's okay.
Tarabchenko.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
He scored 2, right?
2 and an assist,
And-
I believe.
Yeah, and different goals. Like, he had a good look.
Yeah,
And-
long through balls. I mean, their midfield they were playing some good. That was by far the most. Again, it was against a possibly questionable line.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how they go against a more well constructed line. But yeah, good through balls. He was putting his foot through them. I think they look good.
I think it's going to be tough to
I think that was like one of the things we were talking about in like the Discord chat and stuff like that on the League One side of things is, One Knox kind of gets a bye this week almost, right? Where it's kind of like, hey, they look really good. They're playing Westchester. Let's get a couple of matches underneath One Knox's belt before we start seeing what they really are going to look like this year.
Westchester still did score 2 goals. We got to get. We
Yeah.
are forgetting.
No,
they
that's
did.
the thing. They
did
scored
pull
2 goals away. I mean,
And I mean, we played them last year.
I mean,
Sorry, home.
Yeah, I mean, like last season, that
I
was
was
kind
gonna
of the
say.
thing, though. I mean, they would score in the first
That's right.
45,
And then
in the
concede.
back
Yeah.
half of the game, they'd all go to sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly the
know.
blueprint from last season. But still, they still scored 2 goals. I
I
agree.
don't know, because I remember last year. I think in our games between them two, between us and them, there was it was like 18 goals or some crazy number like that. Because I
Wasn't
think
that
the
many.
first time we played them, it was like what 5-3, 5-4.
Yeah.
It was a high scoring
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, and then the second time I think it was another because Obregon got the free kick. It was like another
it was a
like
free
4 or
kick,
5 goals. I was like, so it's not like they're not a boring team to watch.
I think it was at Fitzpatrick. It was a 2-2 draw.
It was a 2-2 draw.
Obregon got 2.
Oh yeah, that's what
That's
it was.
right.
So
free
Yeah,
kicks.
it was a draw.
Yeah, so it's just like, I mean, I feel bad. Those supporters, they're gonna have a tough season
Mm.
because I feel like they're gonna keep giving them. Because it's not like they're going there and scoring no goals.
Mhm.
They just can't finish. And it's tough. I do feel bad for them. I don't feel good putting them at last. I do.
It's a frustrating team to support.
Yeah, I gotta give them credit. If you're still around after this, good on. You're a good person. That's tough, buddy.
Stay fast.
Uh,
All right. The game I was looking forward to seeing the most, unfortunately, had a weather delay. So, and that pushed me to my bedtime. But Sarasota against Boise.
Yeah, so the super team here, AC Boise, that everyone was dying to put eyes on. A little bit of a slow burn on
Yeah.
this one.
They're the new Westchester in a way, where everybody,
spending the money.
they're very different. But
The-
yeah, spending the
yeah.
money, the
The-
coach's situation's very different.
Exactly.
But in my mind, I'm wary of everybody saying, "Oh yeah, Boise's going to be, maybe the player's shield." I'm like, no, I don't think so at all.
No, like I said before, if you want to get at AC Boise, get at them, before June or July.
They're starting to gel.
Right,
It's
yeah.
very painfully
100%.
apparent they need to gel.
Oh yeah.
like everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think of Sarasota though? Because I thought they deserve more from that game. There was an offside call. It was a good headed goal, off of a
I don't
free kick.
understand how that was
And
offside.
and the free kick is probably 3 yards from the byline, and the wall is pretty much on the byline.
Yeah.
The one man, or I think it was one man wall.
Yeah.
Now we don't get a look down the line.
No, we don't.
But I was scratching my head. I thought for sure that was
Not
a foul.
Not a lot of space there
But
for
it was
him
a
to be
great header.
offside.
I thought they deserved to be ahead. And when they said offside, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
You know, based on
How
the
could
messages,
that have been offside?
based on the messages I saw you were sending in our group chat, I think it was more than just scratching your head, Charles.
Yeah. No. I told Don earlier about Sarasota in general. I said, unless you're playing Moses and he parts your midfield, you have no excuse for being that open, because when they were attacking pretty good, I thought they deserved to go ahead. I don't know if they deserved to win the game. They ended up losing 1-0. But when they were defending, it looked like there was a space of 30 by 30 yards with that nobody was in. I mean, almost like they didn't know where they should be. So, I mean, talk about a game being an early season throwaway, like a scrimmage almost. It's just because I haven't even watched professional soccer look like that in a long time. So I'm surprised the game wasn't more high scoring.
Yeah. There was a lot of great headers. I mean, I could count like 4 or 5 balls that literally just whizzed right past the goalie, and I was just like, how did no one touch that?
Yeah.
Like, defender didn't touch it. No one touched it. It just slides right past me. You're like, what am I watching for? Like,
Well, it finally happened where Boise got up on the left and a great ball came across, and then I think 2 guys were waiting. So if the don't know who put it in, but if he hadn't, there was somebody right behind him to put it into. So like they're not missing that one. But I don't know. I felt like Sarasota was a little hard done. Did anybody else share my opinion, or am I nuts?
I think they have good pieces. I think they have good pieces.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have I think if I see them going through, they will, depending on how their like mid-year transactions come out, I could see them being a borderline playoff team. But I think they don't have all the pieces. They have a good foundation. But they're not a complete team, I don't think. But just like their jerseys, they're a little incomplete. Just a little.
We sound like such stuck up, branded, whatever we are. I don't know. A-holes. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to watch the game, admittedly, but I did hear a lot about it. I have some family that live down there. So, yeah, I think the general consensus was that if it hadn't been for that poor call about offsides, you know, it would have been an even contest.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at some of the players that kind of remind me of who they've got down there. They got midfielder O'Dwyer from the Richmond Kickers, which is a really good player. And
I want to look at the possession.
they've got Declan Waters from Chattanooga Red Wolves, and they've got some good players down there. And they were kind of holding their own most of that game. And in terms of organization and stuff like that, they definitely need to get organized a little bit better. But I think we're going to see some good things out of Sarasota this year. And they may not quite make the playoffs this year, but I think they're gonna be flirting in and around that 8th spot line for most of the year. Once we get up and going a little bit.
Yeah, and the possession. Look at the possession; it was pretty even, which is how I remembered it. 48-52 in favor of Boise. 2 to 5 shots, 17 fouls conceded each. So physical game.
Oh yeah.
Questionable calls. Like, bring it on, USL 1, right?
Yep.
So yep.
We're back.
For sure. Okay. Anything else to say about Sarasota, Boise?
No, we're good.
We don't know. I almost feel like same place we were before the game. Like we'll see. Right?
It's rough when the league starts and you're not playing until next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those soft starts.
Yeah, right. It does not feel real yet, but it's coming.
It's like, here's a sample. We'll
Yeah,
call it
right.
week 1.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're talking so pompous.
I think it is. Yeah.
Maybe that's
Probably.
why. We don't even know what we're gonna put out there.
I think it's going to be better than what we watched.
Man, that's how I feel. I'm feeling pretty confident. Anyway, AV Alta, Richmond. So you guys are gonna have to carry this conversation because this one happened after my bedtime.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
I was kind of
at Chaz and
I was
Rob.
kind of hoping this one would be. I had my money on this one as being the big shootout because I know Richmond, at least in their Discord and their talk, they really believe in this team, and I just personally think AV Alta at home is a good team.
Yeah.
They have a great crowd. They have a great stadium. I don't think they get enough love about that or talk. They have like a 7,000 person stadium that gets a couple thousand people in there, not capacity, but pretty dang close. They have a very young team, so I was kind of hoping this was going to be like AV Alta with this new young team shows up to Richmond, who was also this young team, and it was just going to be just an absolute shootout. It did not go that way.
No.
That's all.
Rough.
I mean, there was some flash. It was kind of just like the other games. There was flashes, but you could just tell there was
Penalty
it was
in that
just,
game? 2? It was one. The game finished 1-1.
Yeah, there was one penalty.
I feel like the highlight I saw was AV Alta scored a pen.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, it just wasn't that. I kind of was dubbing this one to be the savior of the weekend, but it wasn't that. It was low early. I think both those teams are going to be still great to watch. I think there is something there with the youth in those teams and the organizations. I think we need to definitely the USL should highlight those two teams more because they're doing good things at every level. Good youth, great branding, and a great support. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I've got from him because outside of the game, yeah, it was another just kind of forgettable game.
Yeah.
Do we have a game from Saturday that was like a good representation for USL 1? I didn't feel like it.
No.
No,
No,
I
it didn't
don't,
feel
I,
like
it wasn't. It was. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the one thing that I'm just going to probably kind of echo a little bit there that Chaz kind of touched upon is these Richmond supporters down there do really like the team that they got put together in terms of fight. They like the fight that they are seeing in the players out there, and I think one of the quotes that I got from one of the Richmond supporters was like, "I'm not sure how many games we're going to win, but I'm telling you what, we're probably going to see some bruises and some yellow cards and red cards out there because these guys are ready to fight out there." For this team and for wins. So after the season that the Richmond Kickers had last year, I'm sure this is very welcome to the supporter section down there in Richmond because they're seeing a group of guys out there that are ready to get after it.
Oh yeah, because last season, I've said many times, they were atrocious to watch.
Yeah.
They were
your least favorite, weren't they?
They were generally my least favorite team to watch last season because they just played so defensively. Like they would much rather the way they played. They were trying to not lose. They very rarely were trying to win. And that was incredibly frustrating to watch.
I think that's my nightmare. Now that we're talking about nightmares, that's my nightmare. Right there last week, I've gone to Dawn, and I think me and you've had a couple drinks and talked about it, and I was like, I have to get the 1,000-yard stare, and I'm like, what if we suck? And what if it rains every home game? And then
What
I
if
remember
we start passing it back and cycling it through and never go forward with the ball like forward Madison style last year.
It's terrifying. That's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
We're spoiled. Bobby Ball is fun to watch.
Oh yeah,
and they want to play that way. So we're very, very spoiled because and I think even in the write up I was reading that you shared with us, Rob. I forget who the author was, but even
it was
he
John Morrissey.
He was saying that Hearts are going to be dead fun to watch this season.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think they are one of the most attractive teams to watch in the league, just because they play fun, counter-attacking soccer.
Yeah.
And it's not shy. Like it can be in your face. It can be really high tempo. It's fun.
Yeah, and it's not to sit back and try to absorb pressure and then try to get him on the counter. It's you're trying to turn over the ball midfield or better yet in their own defensive side or our attacking third.
Right.
And then you're looking
to win the ball.
You're
You're
looking to hit it high and score as quick as you can.
100%.
Yeah.
I will say, I'll throw it out there. The match I enjoyed the most was a championship match, and I wanted to watch Messer start. So I watched Charleston versus Pittsburgh, and that was a good game. And Charleston really did give it to Pittsburgh. First 15 minutes, I don't think Pittsburgh touched the ball much, maybe 2 or 3 times. And also seeing Messer, I was reminded of a gem we had there because, especially in all the other games, we don't have that many specialized players in USL 1. I'd argue that Portland has, with Ollie Wright and Masashi, we actually have quite a few, probably punching above our in quality of individual player. We've done really well, Bobby putting together the squad. But yeah, Messer really, really specialized player out there on the left. And left foot again, got an assist, did score an own goal, unfortunately, but they came away winners 2-1. So I just want to throw that out there as that was probably the best soccer I got to see this weekend. And it is what it is, but
And they were trying to get it over to him, and they were trying to kind of attack through him on the left side.
No, he was a huge part
Yeah.
of that team. It's obvious that they paid for him and they put him right into their system.
Yeah.
Which you love to see. So well done, Nathan. I don't know if I'll watch any other.
He's like, that's the only game I'm going to watch. Maybe.
If you don't see me in this podcast from now on, I've moved to Carolinas and I just changed the Messer shirt. I got a new one. So.
It's this black kit Charles is walking around with a yellow
Black and
3 on the
yellow.
back.
Cannons on
Two
it? What
black
the
and
hell?
yellow teams. Pittsburgh, they're black and yellow too.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how good Pittsburgh was last season, but I mean they won. They won the playoffs, right? I don't think they won the Players' Shield,
They were kind of okay last.
not
but
season.
they won the playoffs. I mean
They were in the
yeah.
semifinals, right?
Yeah.
They won. Pittsburgh won.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pittsburgh
that's
won.
right. They won the
No,
whole
they
thing.
won. Pittsburgh
Did
won the
they?
whole thing.
They won the whole
Yeah.
thing last year.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
they did.
And
yeah.
that was a whole item. I
Yeah,
don't know.
not at their stadium. They won it on the
Is
road.
Bob Lilly coaching? Because there was some drama about him at the end of last season.
Yeah, no, he wasn't coaching there towards the end of it. No, he was
Ooh.
on some leave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
On that note,
Yeah.
Are we going to mention the PA, Adam, at all? Like USL PA at all, or? You wanna
I
touch on
mean-
that at all?
I feel like it's worth commenting in the.
oh, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. So for those of our audience that may not be aware, I think most people are, but
No, that's a good point. A lot of people won't be. So
yeah. So this season, the USLPA, which is the union representing all USL players, their contract in the championship has expired. Players are currently playing with no contract. There were some demonstrations by players we saw this weekend.
60 seconds of silence, players not doing it, just waiting.
Just waiting.
Ref is blowing the whistle,
Yeah.
and both teams understand, right? It's in conjunction with each other. Yeah, they're making a statement, 60 seconds. Correct, the commentators must not be allowed to say anything. How can they not tell the fans
league-
what's going on?
Well, the league runs the commentary.
Yeah, that's
So,
bullshit.
I don't disagree because I think it's worthwhile talking about why they're doing
When's
this.
the last time you watched a game in England? If whether it's protests, whatever it is,
Yeah.
the commentator's job is to tell
Is to
people.
tell people what's
and
happening.
of course, most people who are casually watching don't know. All they know is, why are we doing a minute of silence? And to not say anything.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's confusing to a
ridiculous.
lot of people.
I get why it is that way, but I think
Yeah.
that stinks.
I will say though, if one, I think we should all just mention off the cuff that the League One contract is not expired. The League One contract has one more season left in it, and then it expires. But this
we don't
isn't-
want this to happen in League
right.
One.
We don't want this to happen in League One, and what the players are asking for. And you can have whatever opinion you have from a management or a labor point of view. But what the players are asking for, I think a lot of people feel are regular sort of things that a league that is talking about instituting a pro-rel system should have. Things like healthcare, things like minimum team standards. It's things that we as fans want players to have.
Not only pro rel, but even more, I guess importantly, the Premier.
You're right.
A Division One, and you've got this going on. at the
Right, it's a
same
bad
time.
look.
We mentioned it in our Premier discussion, but it's a bad look.
Yeah. And the other thing is to make sure, throwing out there is, about 80% of the clubs out there are doing things the right way.
Right.
A lot of this, and even the union will tell you this, that represents the players. They'll tell you the same thing, that, a lot of what they're talking about and a lot of what they're fighting for is probably about the bottom 10 to 15% of the clubs that are kind of doing this type of stuff, because there's nothing there saying they can't, so they just don't.
I mean, there's some horror stories you hear about some clubs. Like I'm thinking Loudoun United. Last year, they had some stories come out that it was really bad at the club. Players actually had to wash their own kits. They had to get themselves to practice, things like that. Like just conditions that you wouldn't expect a pro athlete at that level to have to deal with. That there are some clubs where, they have to deal with that. And, I think the way they're going about it is good. They did not strike. A strike has been authorized, but the USLPA has not informed their players that is the direction they're going to go in yet. They voted in favor of it. But, I think having that 60-second protest framed things.
It's not professional standards. That's the argument, right?
Yeah.
What's your perspective on that letter that went out? So the players received, all the USL Championship players received a letter the day before the season started?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
And
it was about a day after they voted to authorize the strike.
Right. So the letter comes out, in the reason for it on the books is that they're trying to let players know about their rights.
Yeah. Well, and that's what, I'll speak. I'll be up front and say, I am a proud member of the AFL-CIO, so I'm a labor guy. It's common tactic and management to put out something saying these are your rights if you want to ignore what your union is doing.
Right.
I think the players, I believe, voted 90% within the entire bargaining unit to authorize the strike.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like players are fairly well unified.
Small
in
majority,
this.
slight majority.
Yeah, like a slight majority
90%.
of the players are in favor of taking a hardline stance to get this contract. I think, like I said, things like this are a bad look for the league. If you have to go out and tell your players, we are encouraging you, if there's a strike, to scab and go in and play against your teammates that are choosing to strike, I think is a really bad look. And I also think it has the potential to destroy teams. Like, think about this. Like, let's say the strike ends and you've got some players that decided to cross the picket line and work for the league during the strike. Are those guys going to be treated well by their other players when they come back, the ones that did strike? Yeah. Are they going to make the passes to those players to score? Or are they going to say, that guy, I don't know, he wasn't with us?
It's a scary thought.
It's a scary thought.
That could influence the sporting side of it.
Right.
But this is reality.
Right, exactly.
It stinks.
I really hope that the league is able to come together with the players, sit down, and come up with a solution. That's what I hope. I think it's complicated. It's a very odd structure because not only do you have the league, which is its own business entity, but you also have all the teams in the league that are also their own business entities. So
right.
I was listening to the USLPA kind of talk about this. It's an odd environment to negotiate in.
It's very strange. I mean, you're much more familiar on it and educated on the subject than I am. But I mean, like Rob said, or excuse me, like Sean, I think it was Sean, you said a lot of the clubs are doing a good job, though.
They are.
A lot of clubs are
100%.
doing right by their players.
100%.
So it's a tricky situation. I mean, I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm not trying to be a pessimist.
I think if there is a strike, it's going to be short-lived.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's going to be short-lived.
Yeah.
Because neither side can really sustain any lengthy strike. With most of these clubs living on ticket sales and people coming through the gates and food and vendors and the whole deal. They live on that type of stuff. And we kind of touched upon just briefly on how the league is structured, and a lot of the money coming in from TV and stuff like that stays with the league. And the clubs are pretty much on their own to basically on their finances to try to make a profit if they can. And so when you're pulling all that money away in terms of people not coming through the gate because the players that they paid to go see are not on the field, you can't sustain that for a very long period of time.
No, not sustainable. Bad situation.
No.
Anything to add, Chaz?
I mean, not really. You guys got, I mean, we're talking about a lot of nightmares over here. I'm going to have a tough time going to sleep tonight. This was maybe not a good idea.
All right. That's the perfect segue, nightmares, into our predictions, our table predictions. All I hear from people is that it's a very tough league to predict. I mean, 4 new teams coming into the league. But let's go. I think we'll get a graphic up on the video. Do we want to start with all of our top 4 and then go top 8 and then kind of everybody else?
Yeah, why don't we
break
do
it
that?
up a little bit?
Yeah.
And we'll move along because I think what we should do is, rather than we have a lot of agreement in some things, but let's highlight the outliers as we go through this. So go ahead. We'll start with Sean. Sean, you got your top 4, and then we'll go to Rob, Chaz, and I'll finish it up.
Yeah. So my top 4, 1 through 4. I've got Hearts of Pine going to be winning the Supporter Shield this year and securing the home field advantage throughout the playoffs this year. So the Hearts lift possibly their first trophy of the year, maybe their second trophy of the year. At the Supporter Shield there towards the end of the year. I got Spokane Velocity sitting in second. We've got the Red Wolves in third, and I've got AC Boise charging late into the year and just nabbing that last playoff spot in fourth.
Rob.
Similar, very similar. So, especially after this weekend's announced signings.
Yeah, you changed things.
I did. So I will admit I had Hearts in third, and then I saw the signings, and I said, nope, we have so much depth that I love this team and I love this club. We're going to win the whole thing. So I put Hearts.
Took those signings for you, huh?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Hearts are going to win. Number 1. Next up, I put Omaha. They brought in some key players, Tempest Keela being one of them in this offseason. I think they'll come in second. Third has been an oddly quiet Spokane in terms of transfers. I still think are a really good team. I just wonder, this is their third year effectively trying the same system, the same tactics with the same players trying to win. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it on the third go around.
I think consistency is worth more than we give it credit for in this league. When you look at how much changes, and I think the Hearts did a pretty good job of keeping a spine and improving where we could.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm really aggressive with where I think we can finish. But I think there's something to be said for consistency.
I agree with you.
Even if you're not like great, if you're consistent, everybody else has such a weird slow start and they're fumbling around. Like if you can just,
I agree with you, Charles. I think consistently for the third year they'll be in third.
That's pretty fucking consistent.
Fourth, I also think AC Boise late in the year is going to do really well, and I think they'll slot into that fourth spot. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Chaz.
Yeah, well, I'm going to end up being the disagreeing guy. I guess Sam also too. I put Omaha at first. I think they're just so top heavy. I don't think they're going to have a slow start this year.
You just think
I mean,
get right into it.
Their top lines are ridiculous. They're going to probably, if they're not the best team, they're going to have the most goals.
Yeah.
I think that they're lethal up front. I then put the Hearts because I think I don't think we're going to have a slow start issue like we did last year. I put Spokane for third because, again, they're consistent, not a lot of turnover, nothing too crazy. We'll be fine. Then, I think AC Boise will be they'll start slow, but they'll pick it up at the end.
Okay. I'm a little different than you guys. I got Portland number 1. I got Omaha second because I agree with you. I think they could be the top scoring team in the league if we're not. And, goals wins games. I have Knoxville in third. So I know you guys disagree with me, but I just think, a double last season. I know there's some turnover there, but I think they're going to be a stubborn team to beat again. I think there's a winning mentality there that carries over from last season. So I've got them in third and Spokane in fourth. And I do not have to justify my decisions to you, Rob. I see you there licking your lips.
I don't know. I just think One Knox had a lot of turnover. I'm not sure if they can sustain a top 4 finish. Yep. I don't have them too much farther down than that, but I don't know. I think that between AC Boise, Omaha, Velocity, and us, I just don't know if there's room for them in the top 4.
Okay, so what are we going to make a bet on? What's is a gentleman's bet come end of the season here between us?
Yeah, so I mean, I have kind of an idea. I'll see what you guys think. So I think whoever is the most accurate in these standings has to choose a beverage of choice, a flavored beverage of choice that the other 3 must drink. And it can be individualized. So like, let's say I know Sean is a dark beer guy. Sean, you might be getting like some like pineapple corn beer, something like that.
Trying to torture the other person.
Exactly. I think that is better than a prize. I think making our fellow co-host suffer is a better move.
Corn.
You joke. You joke. That's what my brother brought me the last time he stayed at my house. It's still in my fridge.
Oh my God.
And you'll be drinking what? Because all you drink is Allen's coffee brandy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. All day, every day.
All right, back to Sean for 5th through 8th.
Yeah, so 5 through 8, I've got Union Omaha 5th. So I'm the only guy that says on the panel that they are not
getting a home playoff game.
No. I think for Union Omaha, for me, only Charlotte and Forward Madison lost more people from their roster last year, from last year into this year than Union Omaha. So. Their head coach last year in the second half of the season showed that he has what it takes to coach in this league and certainly pointed Union Omaha in the correct direction. And we saw what they did late last year. Even late for Union Omaha standards, it was late for them. But they got going. They got turned in the right direction. They made some hay and made a semifinal.
They did.
I think he is going to have that same challenge in front of him, and I think he's going to need the front part of the year. So I think we will see another slow burn for Union Omaha. Maybe not as late as last year, but I think it'll be the usual summertime. We're going to start packing it back on, and I think it gets them to about 5th spot. I think they are just a little short of the playoff spots.
Fair enough.
Then I've got the Greenville Triumph in 6th. I've got AV Ulta in 7th. They make the playoffs this year. and I've got those Corpus Christi Sharks.
That's
Shocking.
shocking.
Yeah, wow. You drank my Kool-Aid. I threw it out there. I threw that little. I said, "Oh, they just signed Kristen Cheney. They're guaranteed playoffs."
You guys really think they're going to be that
No,
high
I
on
didn't.
the?
I didn't.
You really think they'll be that high on the list?
I do, because they have got a head coach in Eamon Zayed that knows how to coach in this league. He knows how to put a playoff product on the field. And if you look at the players that he brought in, the 16 or so that I saw on our friend Alex Ashton, USL League One updater, 16 names, 16 pros. No amateurs so far for the Corpus Christi Sharks. And he knows how to put a team together.
All
Sorry,
sharks, no minnows.
Put the drink down. Stop it.
The pineapple Kool-Aid
Yeah,
or whatever
put it
it is
down.
coming.
I'd criticize you more, but last year I infamously criticized you for your one Knox prediction, and I ate that for dinner every night for the whole season.
At least we all have individual predictions this season. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so tell him why he's wrong, Rob. You're up.
Oh, it's so let's see. So fifth, I've got Red Wolves. I just think that they brought back a fairly good roster from last season. They've had some defensive losses, but other than that, I think they're going to be pretty good. Then I got one Knox at 6. 7, I've got Fort Wayne. I think that they're going to do fairly well in this league. And then 8, I have Charlotte.
Oh, you updated. That's right. I've got your old one.
Right,
Wait,
yeah.
that's not what you said. Okay. Yep. Jazz?
So yeah, I'm in agreement with Rob with the first. Well, oh yeah, you maybe changed them. Chattanooga Red Wolves, great head coach. I think they'll be consistent again. I think they'll be more consistent this year. I then put Knoxville. They fell. They lost Tempest Tequila, and they also lost back-to-back goalkeeper of the year, Sean Lewis, to
Those are
the
big.
the Oblivion. You don't know where he's at.
Both sides of the pitch, yeah.
So yeah, that made me drop them pretty good. Fort Wayne, I put up there. I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think they have a good organization behind them, and there are a lot of players they play together. I think they'll figure it out. And then to round off, this is where it gets really muddy. I don't know what's going on at this spot and down. I put Richmond. I'm drinking Alex's Kool-Aid. I will say, you drink some of mine, I drink some of Alex's. I think that team. Well, first of all, they look good. Second of all, the sport is good.
You think they're going to knuckle and yellow card and red card their way to a playoff
I
spot?
think they would. It's going to be fun. They're going to be our Chattanooga Red Bulls.
As long as it's fun, I don't care.
Yeah.
I think they're is it blue and black?
That like
That's
blue and red.
That's my favorite kid of the
That's
season.
a hot kid.
I think that's the best kid this year.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Is
That's
Vinberg
really good.
Vinberg gonna go over the top of his yellow card count when he was here with the Hearts?
If he keeps getting burned like he did this weekend, maybe he got cooked once or
Yeah, it
twice,
happened.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
But-
it's funny seeing him and also Messer. Messer had a ball or two. Like nobody can argue about Messer's game going forward, but defensively, there's a couple times he was on the wrong side of the defender, and they conceded some chances that looked an awful lot like what we were conceding last season. So in Bobby we trust.
Yeah.
I'm excited for our defense here. Okay, was that everybody? Yeah, Richmond Kickers.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I could see them being in the top 8. All right, so I've got Red Wolves, got Boise, which obviously you guys all disagree with. I think it's going to be tougher for them to figure it out their first season than you guys think. But I still got them in a playoff position, so I just don't think they're going to get top 4. Sarasota right behind them, and then AV Alta. I think I have AV Alta higher than most of you guys on the list. But I don't know. I could just see them. I could see them finding their way into 8th place.
Yeah, I got AV Alta 7th, so I mean,
did you? Okay,
we're right there.
Okay,
7th,
yeah.
8th.
They were my 8th team, but yeah, I don't know.
You got them way down now.
I know they were at 8, and I kept moving people ahead of them.
Well,
They
this
just
is
kept
where
falling.
it gets really.
They
gray.
need to have a more flexible system. AV Alta.
Yeah.
Like
It
they
does feel
tried
very
to
strict,
play.
doesn't
They
it?
had a very strict structure last year, and towards the end of the season, we saw they could not sustain that level of discipline, and then they started having players, come out with injuries and need rest, and they just fell apart.
Well, here's the thing that I kind of had written down for AV Alta in terms of kind of why I felt they were going to push up into a playoff spot. They're returning 13 players. Their signings, the 6 that they signed, 2 are pros, 4 are amateurs. However, the 2 pros, one of those pros that they're bringing in is the New Mexico goalkeeper, from championship that they're bringing in. So they're going to have a championship goalkeeper this year.
That's huge.
It's not their defenses that kind of, well, actually that's not true. Never mind. Their defenses are a little shaky. But like what worries me is their striker, their new striker. I don't have his name down here, but like he's only gotten 8 goals in 3 seasons.
Yeah. So last year,
That's not a high return.
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Last year,
Captain Obvious.
last year, AV Alta let in about 47 goals last year. So I think that's kind of why we're pointing at maybe bringing in a championship goalkeeper this year, and we'll see if that pays dividends for him. I think it does. I think it just gets him into the dance.
Okay. 9 through 17th. I don't think I don't want to. It's a lot.
Do you guys maybe want to just like pick some highlights, some teams? Because this is kind of we're at a point where it's like it's a crapshoot. So how about we pick?
Let's go last. Let's start with last. I think that's the most.
Okay, yeah. That's always enjoyable.
Let's go last. So I'm just gonna point out here. You didn't change this, right, Rob? So
No, I
Sean,
did
Rob, and Chaz, you guys all have Westchester.
Yes.
With the spoon again. They're gonna have a little drawer of cutlery by the end of these seasons here.
Yeah.
I'm just not eating a lot of soup.
Yeah, I'm just not very impressed with.
All right, well, I put Cosmos down there.
You did put them
I
down
put the Cosmos as last because I don't know. I just feel like I have no reason to hate on the Cosmos other than we play them first and I want us to demolish them. But I don't know.
So I guess you went with a really shit, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes it may be sheet. Yeah. I think they're going to be sheet more often than not. So and that was I feel like they're a great team to finish last.
I wouldn't hate it. Just because I don't know, there's something weird about that New Jersey, New York little triangle there. I don't know.
They've got enough history to finish last. Like, like they got just enough history. They got a lot of it and it's good and the greatest player ever to play the game maybe and suck on that. In last place.
It's a nice wooden spoon.
They'll probably finish first, and they'll be laughing at me at the end of the season. But anyway, I have them last. Who else do we have down here? Let's see. Fort Wayne for Sean. You've got him in 15th.
Yeah.
And Madison in 16th. I don't think that's the lowest. I
got Madison 14th, so not that far.
Madison, I think, is actually there. So they're one of the teams. I have Richmond, Madison, Greenville as my 3. Like they're going to be the ones that sneak in. Madison might have one of the most ridiculous roster turnovers I've ever seen.
Dude, total rebuild.
They built around Gebhard. They got rid of 24 players and brought in 22 players to build around Gebhard. And that team it's a scary looking team. Like
that's why I put them 11th because I feel like it's like just starting over. Put them right in the middle.
Yeah, because I know Sean's gonna hate this. A lot of them are amateurs. However, they've already all played with a lot of them have glue with each other. So, and then again, it's around Gebhard. I think it's really truly if Gebhard plays good, that team plays good. If he fails, the team fails. But I know he's a good player. I think that could be a sneaky fun team. Like that team is going to be like, and they have their
when
other
I
strike.
Met you liked Forward Madison.
I did. Yeah. I think again, it's another team, another hot spot of soccer, at least in this league. That good support, good merchandise, good marketing. And they usually put a good product on the field. So I think that whole combination is they're gonna be sneaky good. And the striking partner with Gebhard is 6'5".
Big dude.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. But
that's okay.
That's why we need some big. There's a couple of those teams where what are you supposed to do against a 6'5", 6'6" striker in the air?
We put JT.
I was gonna say you put JT on somebody's shoulders.
I guess I truly have no clue how you defend against that. But anyway, I didn't.
Did you see what they did that actually in the photo shoot? They were Titanic pose with JT. Kamali Green had him. Kamali Green, he made a great little sound in that video. He's like, it was so good. We had JT up there. Anyway, watch the Hearts social media and see Kamali Green Titanicing JT.
Yeah. So the thing I've got with Forward Madison, I've kind of.
Oh yeah,
I've kind of already talked a little bit to the Fort Wayne deal. I think it's going to be a tough road for them. I think they're going to be filling out a lot of notebooks with notes on what to do next year, and I think it's going to be a tough road for Fort Wayne this year, and that's why I've got them down so low. You're going to have so many people hitting the wall at the same time, and they're not going to be able to come through that. But in terms of Forward Madison, Chaz already touched upon it. Only one person left from last year. Everyone else is a brand new roster. I had a few more pros, I think, than maybe what you're letting on to, Chaz. In terms of what I saw,
the bulk of it. There's about I think it's like half.
But the big thing that I really dug into a little bit is, Forward Madison hired a sporting director, which is a little unusual for USL League One. Typically, head coaches are sporting directors. But if you look at what Forward Madison put on the field last year with a lot of back passing and a lot of passing back and forth and just passing until everyone's eyelids shut, and then they tried to hurry up and go forward and score before everyone woke up, that didn't sell very well last year. And they still have their head coach, but they hired a new sporting director and they retooled the entire roster minus one person. Things could be interesting in Forward Madison this year.
I feel like that either means that the manager is going to be praised or going to be got gone kind of quick.
We'll see. From what I understand, we got a lot of big bodies out there in Forward Madison, which is probably meaning we're changing style of play, but we still got the same head coach. We could go one or two ways with this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Good point.
Sneaky.
Maybe we could go through. I hate to not address, all the teams, but we're gonna have this graphic up so people can see. Maybe we talk about from each of us who just misses out, because 9th place is a tough spot to finish.
Yeah.
So I've got Greenville actually in there.
I went in a note on Greenville too. I think mine was Forward Madison and then Greenville. Yeah. Greenville, decent roster, and they have a very good. They have Amal Knight, who was Charlotte's goalie last year until he got hurt. He looked easily like a top 5 goalie. Yeah. He looked incredible, and that team overall is mostly still relatively the same, and they always put a good product out. That field sucks. That is probably their weakest point of this team. I think they have a solid team, but I don't know. There's something off about them. I can't put my finger on it. I can't figure out.
You got him at what, 10th?
I got him at 10th.
Well, the thing that I like about Greenville, right, is
10th, yeah.
They've got a pretty good midfield they're putting together down there, and they've got Azad Liadi is going to be their striker up forward.
That's
right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
So we know what he can do when he was healthy.
I'd love to see him do well. When he plays us, I'd love to see him do well.
Unfortunately, when he was with us, he had an abdominal injury and he was out for a while and whatever. So it was kind of like a segment of time where Azad was not with us, and then towards the end, he came on and actually started helping us out there in the playoffs again, right?
Yeah.
So healthy Azad Liadi with a pretty decent midfield behind him. That's kind of why I've got Greenville making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be wrong about that one.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to tell with those middle teams.
Of course. I just think it's worth, that's an interesting, 9th's an interesting
for
place
what is
to
there,
finish
I
it.
don't know. Like me, I was kind of on the fence about this. Do I put Charlotte in 8 or Greenville in 8? I ended up putting Charlotte there.
Yep.
And then Greenville. Just because I felt that, Charlotte's kind of a big play team. They really do try to edge it in and have those big moments where they try to, really push the ball past the defensive line. And sometimes they get called offside. I think they led the league in offside calls last year. But that's, I think, shows an aggressiveness that I am not sure Greenville has, and it might propel them forward a little bit better into the ace slot. But I do think they're kind of evenly balanced teams. I don't know who's going to pull ahead in that race.
No, of course not. I mean, we're doing our best here to guess, but it's pretty tough. Sean, you had Sarasota 9th.
Yeah,
So
I do.
You think they're going to get close, though, huh?
Yeah, and I was just kind of thumbing down through some of the names they've got there on their team, and I think they've put together a pretty decent roster. I think what we saw with them going against Boise, they were looking like they, in spots, and in most first games of the year, you're going to see this type of play out of most of the teams. You're going to pick segments of time during that match where you're going to go, okay, if I see a lot more of that, I can see how this team is going to do something this year. And I think Paradise was like that. They've got some players, like I was talking about with Dwyer in the midfield, really knows how to run a midfield. And from what I understand from talking to some of the Kickers supporters, he's really loving being down there, playing on grass down there in Sarasota, really enjoying his time down there. And I think it's, they're going to get some run time underneath of them. I think they're going to be in a pretty good position. They don't quite make it, and that's why I've got them just outside of the playoff picture. But I think we're going to see some good things out of Sarasota this year.
Yeah, like I said, I was more impressed with them than Boise. It doesn't mean that much.
Yeah.
It means very little. from that opening game. But like, if I didn't know some of the stuff you guys are talking about and the quality of signings that Boise's brought in, and why you guys have so much confidence in them finding their feet throughout the season, I'd be just as likely for Sarasota to do the same thing. So, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm really looking forward to come the end of the season, not only for the Hearts winning the Players' Shield, but also to go through this. So thank you, gentlemen, because it's brave to put together a standings table for USL One.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that. Let's wrap it up a little bit. Anything we want to talk about that's going on in the community up here in Maine? We did see the Hearts have their first open town hall. I don't know if it's called an open town hall, but a town hall for the women's game. So I was able to watch that. And they're trying to turn that around for 2027. So it was interesting to see what's going on here. And I think I have all the confidence that the Hearts will get all the community feedback they need and hopefully be just as successful launching the women's club as they were with the men's.
Yeah.
I think in that that opening town hall, the very first one, and I think it's normal. You get more questions than opinions. I think the Hearts were really looking for more opinions out of the crowd when they started talking about crest and names and all that sort of stuff. You could tell they were trying to draw more opinions.
Sure.
Of, do you like the Hearts of Pine logo the same as for the women's, or do you want to not do the Hearts of Pine logo and do something totally different that is your own?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to have the Hearts of Pine logo, maybe just change the colors and tweak it a little bit, right?
They put that up there in the they showed some teams that were inspirational,
And
all three different ways.
They got a few opinions back,
Yeah.
but I think most of it was they got a lot of questions coming back the other way, and it's like, okay, all right,
Well,
I'm going to answer all the
their feedback forms.
yeah,
and people
right.
can
I
spend
think
more
that's
time
where they're
with
going to
that.
see most of it, right?
of course.
Is where they
Yeah.
get the feedback
It's
form.
hard to take the temperature of 350 people in the brewery that have been drinking, or who knows? Who knows? Like I don't know. But did you watch it, Chaz? Did you tune in?
I was there. I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I was.
Okay,
I was
awesome.
in the
Did
back.
you watch it?
I did. I did.
Were you present?
No, yeah, I was present for it. Yeah, they were trying to get more opinions, but I think it'll show up in the survey.
I think
but,
the feedback form is where they're going to see all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the picture. I don't know if where the picture was for the stream, but it was pretty packed.
Yeah,
I was
it
genuinely
looked very
shocked.
busy.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's good.
It was sold out. The tickets were all gone.
When you were actually watching it on YouTube, you didn't pick up on exactly how many people were there. But if you looked at the social and saw the pictures going back the other way, and you saw all those people in the back, you're like, wow.
Oh man, it was so funny to see Josh. That did kind of every now and then he was catching my eye because like you would see just his like arms like poke out above something. Like you couldn't see like there was
the
a screen.
super sub, Josh, because he's a big dude.
I know that's why if you want anybody, it's him.
Throw
Because
him up top.
he would just show up like I don't know, or you just see him like hanging from something, trying to get this picture, and I was just like,
Yeah,
okay, I don't know what they're talking about, but
he's fun to watch.
yeah, he's hilarious trying to get photos. But no, yeah, it was a great turnout. I don't know, it could go either way. I
think they need to talk to the community's going to do what the community does.
Yeah,
and I honestly don't know. It's early days, but I have no sense of it. Like whether they really want to go continue under the Hearts or they want to have their own identity. It'll be really interesting. It'll be really, really.
I think they're truly going to let the community drive it.
Oh no, they will let the community.
I think Gabe even said, honestly, I don't really have an opinion. I want to hear from the community.
Well, he wants the journey, which
Right.
is right. Like, doesn't matter what the end decision is. What's important is they get there together.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think he's dead on.
Yep.
So that'll happen.
Totally the right way to do
that'll
it.
happen. I'm just saying I don't have a sense of where they're going.
no,
Like,
well, it was hilarious because once they gave you 4 options, and it was hilarious because I think the very first 4 opinions were all 4 separate options.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
I'll tell you, I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was busy. I wasn't able to go myself. I did read the article in the Press Herald this morning, and that was how it sounded. It sounded like that.
I haven't read
as
the
many
article.
opinions as there could be were present at the event.
Well, they might have their work cut out for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So the only other thing that I'm just going to switch subjects a little bit.
Yeah, please do.
The only other thing that I wanted to go ahead and mention is, Don and myself went on to the Cosmos country and we did a little bit of talking back and forth with those boys for the game coming up this coming weekend. That should be out. If you're watching this now, you should be able to go ahead and find it on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yep.
And you should be able to find that. Don, myself, and Jerry, and Trying to think of who the fourth one is, but
Is it on Cosmos Country or is
Cosmos
it on?
Country,
Okay,
yeah,
it's Cosmos,
yeah.
okay.
Were you polite or did you shit talk them on their
Did
own
you tell them you were
podcast?
going to finish dead last?
Yeah.
Yeah. Praise.
No, I don't think that part come up. But we kind of give them a little bit of a once over and kind of what they can expect from the Hearts. We let them know that we're going to come down, we're going to play a physical brand of ball, nothing cheap, but you're going to know where we stand, and we're going to be challenging for every ball, and that's just how the Hearts play.
They're going to know where the fans stand.
And we're gonna.
Yeah,
I did tell them, and they laughed. So I'm not sure if they knew I was serious, but I'm like, you guys are gonna want to bring some earplugs, and
If they're over there.
and
yeah,
then they
yeah.
just kind of chuckled, and I'm like, it's gonna be loud.
Do you have any sense of where they're sitting?
I don't.
They
I
didn't
think
say.
they're so we
You know,
are
the guys
kind-
that you talk to.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, no, I don't. I have no sense of where they're sitting.
How did they respond to the 500?
Yeah. So I think they didn't really have a whole ton to say to that.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
they were a
sure.
little
Yeah.
sticker shock on that one, right? But I think there was kind of a chuckle and maybe just a little side of the head tilt there when I just told them that we had some 500 strong coming down to cheer on the Hearts in their backyard, and they're talking about their legend night and of course the Pele jerseys. I'm
At
sure
3
we will
p.m.
see plenty of.
Yeah, 3 p.m.'s wild.
It's a 2 p.m. game, yeah.
2:30.
Oh, is it-
Sorry,
is it 2
We'll take
p.m.
half. 2:30.
2:30.
2:30.
I know I got to get on the road early to get down there.
Yeah, I'll be leaving at like 5.
Yeah.
I'm taking the first Downeaster train down
And I-
Saturday morning.
Doesn't that train run all night? Isn't it like a 1 a.m.?
No, it's like I leave like Portland at 5:30. I'm meeting a buddy of
Yeah.
mine in Boston, then we're
Yeah.
driving together.
That's nice. That's good. Good.
I did ask them a little bit about their play style because, very Italian type of, heritage being drawn through the Cosmos and the people they've got in the front office and so on and so forth. Their head coach, some players, right? And they said, yeah, we're going to be a 4-4-2. We're going
Yeah,
to be hard to
I
break
expect
down.
a 4-4-2.
So it's going to be a very Italian-like play style on the
joy.
pitch.
My favorite.
This is like a must-win for us, right? Like we're
I
bringing
might
everybody
be-
down.
I think we've
Talking
talked
way
we've
too
talked
much.
too high a game. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
We-
If
with
we
that-
don't win this game, we're going home with our tails between our
Yeah,
legs.
I did.
Oh.
I may have said that they do have Cole Palmer at home. One of their guys looks like
Just like them. Yeah, there you go.
identical, and I was like, I was sitting in the next day. I was like, why did I say that? Because my name's out there. It says Chaz Bedden. I'm like, oh man, I can't hide.
In writing. Because that's what you do, man. You make bold predictions. And bold,
Oh man.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness! No, I
man.
love it, Chaz. I love it. So, all right. So, quick game. Yeah, Cosmos is going to be amazing, and then we're all going to be. Well, you may not be there, Chaz. You're working on it, trying to get to Vermont.
Yep.
I just saw a picture of the hill. Doesn't look like much of a hill to me. It looked
No.
pretty tiny. Like,
Well,
so that's going to be tough. But we're going to have content here from the Friggin Soccer Show at the Cosmos and after the game in Vermont. So we're very much looking forward to that. And anything you guys want to add before we sign off?
let's go beat the Cosmos.
Let's go beat the Cosmos. Please like and subscribe. I never say that. I hate hearing myself say that, but I promised I would do a better job of it.
we're
so,
almost at 500 subscribers.
yeah,
So
hopefully by the time
please
this goes
subscribe.
live. Yeah, please subscribe. and if you don't like it, tell us you don't like it because that's good too. But
And subscribe anyways.
but
Yeah.
we hope you enjoyed the very first episode of the Friggin Soccer Show. There'll be a lot more where that came from this season. And up the friggin' Hearts.
Up the
Up the
Hearts.
friggin' Hearts.